Hi.
Hey, bro.
How you doing?
I'm great. Are you?
I'm doing all right.
Uh, uh, I hope you can hear. You can see me, right?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see you clearly.
Okay. Sorry, one moment.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, this network almost wanted to to mess us up this evening, but I'm glad that we're finally doing this.
Yes.
Uh, so good to see you, bro. So good to see you.
Good to see
Uh,
you too.
this has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
That we were supposed to do this, and I'm so happy we are finally able to do this together. I just
Okay.
want to say welcome everyone that is joining us this evening. Welcome to Performance Accelerator. I can see my wife there. Official Dark, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And to everyone that will watching the replay of this video, just want to say a big welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on Performance Accelerator. It's my friend and my brother that is with us this evening, Joe Attah. So happy to have my friend and my brother with us, and he's going to be talking to us about taking our performance to a whole new level. I'll just quickly go through his profile and then we'll just get right into this because he's very busy. He has another meeting coming up this evening, so we'll just make this very straight and sharp and to the point. My friend and my brother Joseph Attah is an inspirational speaker. He's an author of 3 books. The most recent book is Rare Breed, a leadership book for young people. In my haste to put this together, I was saying I was going to bring my copy of the book. I left it in the house, but a very great book because I have my own copy. Very powerful book, Rare Breed. He's the founder, Return to Eden, a youth development foundation. He is also the brain and director behind Patriot Vibe Limited, that provides training and consulting services for educational institutions. He sings and he is also a poet. I know that you laughed there. Uh, so I don't know if there's anything I'm leaving out there, bro. That I forgot to mention.
No.
Because I know right from our days on campus, I know that you sing. I know that you're also a poet. And for those that are just joining us and probably do not know, I've known Joseph way back from school. That's University of Ahmad Bello University Zaria, while we're together on campus, and it's been a very powerful relationship that we have had since then up till now.
Yeah.
I usually think of him as the brain in our relationship. You know, he's the wisdom tank in our relationship. I'm more of the momentum person, the action person. He's the one that will always say, no, this particular thing that you're thinking of doing, why not think about it this way? And I'm like, what? I didn't even think about that. I'm just like go. But he will say, no, there's a better strategy, there's a better way to approach this. And that's why I really appreciate you so much, bro. I appreciate
Thank you
you,
very much.
all the words of wisdom that you have continually poured into my life. I assure you, it has really shaped me to become the person that I am today. And so we're just going to be getting right into it. Maybe tell us a little bit about your journey, how you started, how you got into speaking, specifically even writing books, and to the extent that you've written not just one, not just two, but 3 books, where so many people are still struggling to even write one. Let's start like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Like you said, it's been a long time coming, and he's actually a friend and a brother. That's no other way to put it. Okay, talking about my journey, I think I'll always say this. I believe everybody um, is in this world on an assignment. Like, I like to imagine, not just imagine, I like to look at how we humans do things, right?
Yeah.
As a human being, before you build anything, before you create anything, you have something in mind. You're trying to build a chair, a table, it must have a purpose, there's a reason behind it. You create it. Nothing we do is for nothing. So I can't even begin to imagine that God created a whole human being without a reason. So I just
Absolutely.
believe that, yeah, so I just believe that everybody is on earth with a specific capability and capacity to do something really worthwhile. So that was like a journey, that was like a quest for me growing up. I always had questions. I always had questions right from when I was a teenager. And for some reason, I felt there was just this void that will make you satisfied. So I just had questions. And those questions rather led me to asking more questions. The more answers you get, the more questions you realize you need to ask. And so that kept going on and on until I finally figured out why I was asking those questions. And I found out my own niche, which is being
Yeah.
able to, yeah, write, speak, and solve certain problems. So that's been my journey, really.
Wow. Uh, awesome, bro. So let's get right into the writing itself. You had this journey that you've had so far, your own purpose journey, finding that assignment that God has placed in your hand, the problem that you God has created you to solve. Then really, why specifically writing books?
Okay, it's when God gives you something to do, it's usually not tied to just one thing. So writing is not the only thing I do, right?
Yeah.
But you have to realize what is the way that, or what of which of those things has God put into you, which of them are you going to start with? It's
Yeah.
more like, so writing is what I kind of started with, right? So you're going
Yeah.
to have a comparative advantage with something to start with. So you
Yeah.
figure out what that is, and then you start pushing it. So like you said correctly, while I was on campus, I was singing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I know I belong to the category of people that have something to say. We kind of have to hold the mic, so to speak. We have to say something. So we're either going to be writing, we're going to be speaking, we're going to be singing, so you know the area, so the next thing you need to now do is to ask, what am I to say? If you're going to be speaking, what are you going to say? If you're going to be singing, what are you going to sing? Right? So everybody has a message attached to the capability that you have, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
my message is to young people, right? My message is to young people, helping them to find themselves on time, find out this same thing I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
it became clear to me while I was getting older that the reason why I had so much questions growing up and I always wanted to know something was just because God was just preparing me for what I needed to help other people achieve as well.
Yeah.
So your assignment is hidden in your story, right? So it's
Wow.
either something that you hate so much you want to see it stop, or something that you do so well you want to make it increase. So your assignment is tied to your story. It's there somewhere. You need to look inward and find it. So for me, it's reaching out to young people, helping them to find their assignment, and then helping them to lead in the place of their assignment. So you mostly find me teaching about purpose or teaching about leadership, mostly to young people.
Yeah.
So that's how it moved for me. So in having to write, and I found out that writing was one way I could start. There are many more
Yeah.
things I'll do. There are many other things I do on the side as well, but this is one way that I started with, and I'm still on it. And it turns out I started with one book, right?
Yeah.
And um, I didn't even know. In fact, I knew that I was going to write right from way back in university. I knew I was going to write, but I
Yeah.
just imagined in my head that maybe when I'm like 50 years old, when I've achieved a few things and
Mhm.
I can consider myself, yeah, then I can write and then people will listen. But I didn't know it was going to be much earlier. But all I knew that I was going to write. So what I started doing was to start writing immediately.
Mm.
So if we're getting right to what we're talking about, when you talked about the distractions that people face,
Yeah, exactly.
right? The
Yeah.
distractions that people face, right? So we just try to look at it. Let's look at three categories of people quickly. Yeah, not to take us out of what we're saying, but look, but
Yeah.
we'll get
Please
categories
go
of
ahead.
people now. If you,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, if you have, there are people who have taken a wrong direction,
Yeah.
right? Maybe you just decided to become a musician because your friends are also musicians, or your brother or your families, family members are all musicians, and you decide to take that route. You might be having so much distractions because you've chosen the wrong path. So we need to get it clear that most of the things we'll be saying today will not make too much sense to you because you're just on the wrong path. So if
Yeah.
you say you're going to Lagos by road from Abuja and then you head towards Nasarawa State and you're going towards Plateau and Jos, you're going further away from Lagos. Now, if you stop along the way and you ask somebody how close is Lagos away from me, they'll be like, Lagos, what are you doing here? Like, so your own distraction is on a different level. You will not flow with what we're trying to say today. You need to
Yeah.
first of all determine that the direction I'm going to is where I'm supposed to go to. Then when that is settled, then you know that you can begin to tackle the distractions because what you have is more than just a distraction. Now, the second
Absolutely.
category of people that might be also distracted are people that have been, let's say they've been displaced. So maybe you had this plan, you're sure this is where you want to go to, you had a plan and then something happened, something disastrous happened. Maybe you lost your father, you lost your brother, you lost your sponsor, or maybe Boko Haram destroyed your village and displaced, like everything you were about to do like came to zero. So yours is not a distraction. You just need to pray to God to get out of that first, settle yourself, then reposition yourself to start afresh. Your strategy and plan and the goals you have to set may be totally different altogether. So you need to understand that, okay, let me get out from here first and I can set new plans. Now, the category of people who are trying to reach tonight, people who know this is where they're supposed to go, they
Yeah.
set their goals, but for some reason, they are not getting there. They just discover that they begin to think that they are lazy or something is wrong. So you're sure this is where you're supposed to be, you're sure this is where you're supposed to go to, and then you're not making progress, right? So those are the people who are going to be addressing directly tonight. Now, so I try to pen down a few things that we'll be looking at. Okay.
Yeah.
And you said I should use from my experience, right? So I'm going to try to use from my writing experience and show how I try to get some things done like that. So
Yeah.
the first thing you must just realize is when you set a goal, you have to realize that it's a process. Every goal you set is a process. There's no goal. When you set a goal, the reason you set a goal is because you're going to have many more small goals to achieve that goal, right? So there's no big
Absolutely.
bang goals. So first set your mind that look, I'm on a journey and it's not just a sprint. It's going to be a
Absolutely.
marathon. Okay, so that's first thing. Now, one of the things you can do, it's easy to understand why people are so distracted today. There's so much in the air. There's so much happening around. I mean, so many reasons to distract you. So for me, one of the things I did back then, when I realized that I was going to write, I realized I was going to write way back in the university, right? So what I did was to try to create a lifestyle that accommodates my desires, my dreams,
Yes.
right? So instead of we're looking for who to motivate me every time, yeah,
Yeah.
motivation is good, but you can have people motivate you once in a while, but you can't have people motivate you all the time. So
Absolutely.
because it was difficult for me to get motivated all the time, I decided to create my activities that will help me achieve my goals, create them into my program. In other words, I changed my lifestyle because of my goals,
Absolutely.
right? So I realized that I had to be writing. So I put writing every day as part of my goals. So I used to write every day while I was in school. I write every day. So no matter what I write, after all, I'm in school. I got pen and paper around me all day long. Everywhere is pen and paper. So I decided I'd start writing every day. Now that's helping me build a habit. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to pick up a habit that helps you do that, right? So school was the time that helped me to build that habit of writing. So I write every day. So no matter what, either I wake up early or before I sleep, of course, doesn't mean that I survived every day. There are days I couldn't write, but it
Yes.
was my habit. So if you say I scored an A in that, even if it's a 70, right, but maybe not a 99, but I
Yeah.
kept writing every day. Write for an hour, write for 30 minutes, I kept writing, I used to write. And there are days when the writing is so much fun, you write for hours, right? And there are days it's not flowing so much, you write for minutes, right? So, but I kept writing every day. I made it a habit to write every day. Secondly, I now decided to make friends with people in the English department. My cousin was there. A few people I knew in the English department. So I made friends with people from there so I can engage with them in some kind of discussions because I was going to write and I wasn't training to, I was studying something entirely different. So I didn't know anything about writing. So I started learning. I go there, ask questions. I ended up going to Drama Village, watching plays, things like that. So I just made friends with them. So when you do that, you kind of force yourself to be, you know, in a circle that exposes you to your goals and to the
Absolutely.
practices that allow you with ease. So you don't need to be motivated every time. So it's already in your schedule. So you want to be a musician and you don't belong to a band, you don't belong to a choir, you don't belong to any music, you don't have anything that makes it mandatory for you to show up for rehearsal somewhere and all that. It's putting yourself under some form of control that prepares you for a goal. So whether you like it or not, every day you're colliding with habits, you're colliding with practices that sharpen the goal that you want to achieve. So you want to be an engineer, join some fancy engineering group online, find any environment that stimulates the things you need to do that keeps making you think about, yeah. So the first thing I would consider is lifestyle. So adjust your lifestyle to suit your goals, to reduce the stress of needing motivation, right? So
Yeah.
it will help you reduce the stress of needing motivation. Before you know it, you picked up so much without even thinking. I can say that easily because when I finally realized I was going to publish my book in 2013, I actually wasn't preparing for a book. You know, just like the beginning of the year when we pray to God and like, you know, I'm trying to set my goals for the year, things I want to do. And suddenly I heard God say, look, I should publish. And I'm like, publish? But I wasn't preparing to publish. Like the whole of 2012, I wasn't thinking of publishing. But as soon as I decided I was going to publish, all I did was to go to all my writings. And I was surprised that I already had a book written because all I did was, oh, this will be good for chapter 1. If I put this will be chapter 2. And before I knew it, I had 6 chapters ready. I just needed to do a preface, do a few things, and in 2 weeks I was ready.
Wow.
So you see, when you let your lifestyle define your activities, right, you become unconsciously prepared every day. And like they say, when preparation and opportunity meets, you have a
Yeah.
breakthrough.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So that was what happened. So when first night I'm saying there is lifestyle, right? So
Yeah.
lifestyle, adjust your lifestyle. Don't make it difficult for yourself to be motivated. Once you create those activities, look at all the people that do the kind of things you want to do, or they're doing it already. Join the groups. Do it. Now there's so many options. Join them. Be in the environment. Learn. Grow, and that will take away some of your laziness.
Yeah.
Now the second thing is your expectations. Now, we need to know how to prepare expectation. Remember I said achieving your goals is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
So if your expectation is designed in the form of a sprint, you're going to have a lot of problems. So I talk with a lot of young people, I work with a lot of young people, and then I'm talking to some of them, and they tell you things like, yeah, I'm a musician, right? I'm going to release my single, and when that single blows, I'm going to do a collabo with Whiskey, then the video will call me. Only you sitting down to write on expectation that it's a sprint. So you're coming into the music industry tomorrow, and you're singing with Whiskey and collaborating in the video in a jiffy.
In a jiffy.
Jiffy,
Exactly.
right? Those
Yeah.
are your expectations that you're expecting. So you build these expectations so high, and it's so wrong because you're even building it on your first single, not even on your first album. Meanwhile, in reality, yeah, it doesn't mean you're not a good singer. Doesn't mean you're not going to do well, right? But you just might
Absolutely.
end up doing your collab. Maybe by the time you're done with your album, the video will not even be on the scene anymore. You don't even know.
Very true.
So your expectations that you just built is going to ruin you, but you
Very.
have no idea. But when you now do that first single, and then you're an Abuja-based artist, and the song did not even blow to take over Abuja alone, you are like, you see,
You
you
get
get discouraged,
disappointed.
you stop singing, you stop this, and then you're wondering why you're distracted.
Very true.
So once your expectation is wrong, when your expectation is not well planned out, right, you have issues. You once it starts happening and it's not happening the way you thought, you get discouraged. And then
Absolutely.
that's where another round of laziness kicks in, right? Then the third thing is building up your knowledge, right? So
Yeah.
at the time that we make up our minds or set our goals, there's usually a prevailing knowledge about whatever it is you want to achieve, right? There's usually prevailing knowledge about whatever you want to achieve. But you need to be checking to be sure that you have not been left behind. So what happens to a lot of people is they set those goals and then they go into their hiding place and they go and start working. And by the time you're done working, you come out. And then when you come out, everything you're done, there's just one new app or one new technology that just came up and it's ruined everything you've been working for because they don't need you anymore.
Wow.
Or they don't need what you're working for anymore because something else superseded that.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're working to produce any kind of CD player, any kind of disc, any kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're closed and working. By the time you come out and downloads are here, you're already out of business before you know it.
Very
but
true.
You have the idea. You're in the environment of producing or creating music or putting music in an alternative form for that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But you have to keep up with the knowledge. So by the time you come out of your hiding place and you realize that you've been left behind, you start being lazy. Didn't change the dream. Like I said, whatever you're wired to do is within an environment. So you need to, if you're going to be using the mic, you're going to be using the mic. Right now, we're talking to loads of people on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Back in the days when we're school, we're thinking of how to organize programs, right? How to get people into the hall, you know, right? But we're not doing that anymore. But what we have to say doesn't change, right? If you keep working on that, you'll still be fine. Right? And much more. So you're still within there, but you're going to find out how we're not looking for halls no more. We're not looking for this. We're just have to get data and get your phone and build your followership and do a lot of things. And then it's different, right? So these things change. Your knowledge, if you do not upgrade your knowledge, you do not step up your knowledge, you realize that you become lazy. You feel like you're distracted. You're not exactly distracted. It's just that you haven't built up your knowledge completely, right? So that's the third thing, right? Another thing is planning, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us don't plan.
Wow.
When you don't plan, you get distracted easily. Because a plan is just like drawing a plan. Drawing a plan doesn't mean that the plan is going to work.
Okay.
Yeah, drawing a plan doesn't mean the plan is going to work. Drawing a plan just lets you know that when it gets to that point when the plan is not working, you know what is not going to work. Exactly. So you can get an alternative. So not having a plan is a problem, but having a plan doesn't guarantee that it will work, but it also helps you make progress. It helps you know what you have not done. So a plan is basically smaller, achievable sets of goals that you set that when you achieve them, they take you a step closer to the bigger goal. That's just what a plan is.
I think you need to say that again. You say a plan is a...
Yeah, so a plan is just smaller, achievable goals that you set within a bigger goal that takes you closer to the bigger goal as soon as you achieve them. That's just what a plan is. Yeah. So, but because you don't have those small, achievable ones, you're waiting for the big one, you never really make progress.
Very true.
So by writing every day, I was making progress without knowing. I was making progress. So, and even when it comes to now that I now write more. I have other processes I've learned from other people on how to prepare to finish a book. I need to prepare a spreadsheet. I have things to do. Okay, I set goals. There are some, and it surprises you that when you draw that, you do that spreadsheet and outline everything to put timelines and everything. You begin to check. When I look on my list, do this and do this and do this. This will cost me this amount of money, right? I can plan to raise the money. Some I'll check, do this and do this. This only requires time, just my time, and I'll write my time there.
Absolutely.
Do this, do that. This one requires, networking. This one requires research. Breaking down your goals into those small goals helps you. Yeah. So after a while, you tick this off, because you're done. Yeah. Right? And you can stretch the program up to like November, and before you know it, so by March, you know where you are, if you're catching up, if you're slow. And it allows you to review your plan, because you can wake up at any time and say, what, I can change this spreadsheet. Okay, now I can remove this, put this here. And sometimes you even find out that, something you thought you were going to do sometime in November or in August, because of something you did, it exposed you to realize that, you can actually do these two together, and you have to remove that. Now you even have free time. So planning is just sets you up, right, to make progress.
Yes.
sets you up to achieve your goal faster. Yeah, so those are some of the things that, going by my experience, I realized that you could use to avoid distractions.
Yeah.
Right. So there's one more thing I did mention. The other thing is,
Okay.
picking the company that you work with. So you have a goal. It's in line with the lifestyle, right? I just didn't mention over there lifestyle, but you need to also pick the people that share something similar. So if you have a goal that looks something like this, look for 4 or 5 people that are doing it already. Look for people that you can identify that do something similar. Make them
Yeah.
your friends. Stay away from those that don't, right? I remember when I said I'm going to write, yeah, there's some people, there's a difference between people who say, guy, how far with that book now? It's different
Yeah.
from, have you written that chapter? It's two
Yeah,
different people.
exactly.
So stay away from those guys. Those ones are telling you how far that book now. They're teasing you. Because you say you want to be a
Yeah.
writer. And they're looking like me and you are here like this, you want to be a writer. Right, let's see now. So they're like, how far that book now? Right? So, but there are people that when you write, so I remember when I wrote my first book and I showed somebody and he read, he was like, oh, I feel like I was reading one of Miles Monroe's book. I was like, oh, really? The next time I had a question, I went back to him. I kept going back to him until today we're still working together because he gave me a good feedback. So you need to find people that respect you, respect what you do or what you're trying to do, and
Yeah.
go back to them often, right? Because they encourage you. If you keep staying, that won't distract you. That will help you stay on track. But if you stay away
Exactly.
from people who don't
Like people that keep you
do that,
accountable, right?
yeah, exactly. Somebody that will keep you accountable, that will ask you, right? Like my elder sister does that, and I told her she'll be like, in fact, when I'm coming to her, I need to be ready because if I'm not ready, she'll be like, I'm not even serious. Me that brought up the matter. I said, she ask you, have you done this? Have you done that? Yeah, so you need people who are accountable. And if you don't have those people, go and look for them. Don't say I don't have any. They are everywhere. You remember how okay, you guys don't know. Do you remember how we met in school?
Yeah, even
So
though it's
I'll
kind
tell
of
you guys.
blurry now.
I'll tell you. So we used to be in the same hostel. He was downstairs on the ground
Yeah,
floor, and I
exactly.
think I was upstairs, right? And
Exactly.
one day I was just passing in front of his room, and he stopped me and he said, "I've been watching you. I see you a lot around here. I see where you go. I see you. I see certain things about you. I see you carry. I always carry books around. I'm always listening to it. I walk around." He just observed me for a while, and I think we go to the same church. And then he came to me and said, "I've been watching you for a while, and I want us to be friends."
Yeah,
That's just all. So if you don't have people like and see us today, he's inviting me for his show. So my point
exactly.
is, these people are around you. If you don't have
Absolutely.
them, find them.
Absolutely.
Right? If you don't have them, find them. You select the person, right? You see the person who's going your direction. If he doesn't know you, go ahead and meet him. And I'm glad he did that. I may never have been able to do that, right? But he's
Yeah,
somebody that recognizes easily yeah, and he saw through that I may never have known. And then the good thing is, by the time I got close to him, I realized we're so much alike. He's
like,
got books, he's reading, he's got so, and that's why I was able to notice that I was doing the things I was doing because he does them as well, right?
yeah,
So even if you don't know who those people are, find them. It's part of your responsibility to find them. Don't say that, and those people are around you, right? They're
absolutely.
around you everywhere, right? So check for those people, find them. So if you put some of those things together, you realize that if you check your lifestyle, adjust your expectations. Expectation is a big thing. It's something that we spend a whole hour talking about. If you need to
Yeah,
really properly align your expectation, it take a lot of time, right? And then update your knowledge on every area of the things you're working, right? If you don't do those things, there's no way that you will not feel distracted. And then
yeah,
have a plan. Have a plan. The plan may not be the plan doesn't have to be a sprint. Spread it out. You
mm,
know the things that you don't have that you require to achieve some of the things you want to achieve, right? So begin to outline those things and find a way to fix them. And then the
absolutely.
last thing I'll say before is time. So you don't have all the time. So
Mm,
whenever you look at time,
yeah.
you say,
Sorry,
look
Joe.
at me.
Before you
Yeah.
go on, somebody that's Attah here is saying that that's true. I had a situation when I was writing my book, and my cousin was like, "You write a book." That book never saw the light of day. I was a teenager then, so I think she's trying to like reiterate what you were saying about
Exactly.
not being around people who would
Uh-huh.
discourage you and who are making fun of you and just trying to teach
Exactly.
you and all that.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
you need to choose those people correctly, really find them, and they're very helpful. It's uplifting, right? When you have somebody like that around you, right?
Mm,
So and then the other thing is time. Now,
yeah.
time can begin to work against you when you don't use it properly.
Yeah.
Time is everybody's friend, but can also become your enemy. So it discourages you when you sit back and say, I see the person we started with back then. See
Yeah.
where this person is right now. And he's done this, I can't start. So if you thought, for instance, that you were supposed to start writing about the same time and you did not start, the best time, start now. Don't
Yeah.
say, yeah, but if you allow time, time will become will discourage you, tell you, but there are things that you really cannot help but start immediately if you know you have a goal to achieve. If you're a footballer, for instance, if you don't start early, you retire at 30, so there's
Yeah.
no time. So some things are time bound, right? If you're an athlete, if it's something that requires physical strength, so you need to start early. If you don't start early, you're playing yourself, to the cup. So you need to consider time as well. And
Yeah.
what helps you kill the time is not to make you rush, but it's help you to plan, help you to build your knowledge, correct your expectation.
Yeah.
And if you do these things right, get the right people around you, you have a jump start, right? It will jumpstart your effort. It will jumpstart your effort. You won't feel alone anymore. Because part of what discourages people is you feel alone. You feel like, when am I going to get this done? Who is going to help me do this? All those questions are tied to this factors. If you find this environment, you put yourself in them, you realize that you're not so alone anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, this has made so much sense, honestly, bro. For everyone that is watching, just like I told you, he's the wisdom bank in our friendship. Just like he said, I'm the one that approached him that let's be friends, but at the end of the day, he's the one that really opened my eyes to so many things. So most of the time, I'm almost like the oh, let's do this. But he's always so much on strategy, so much on wisdom. I said let's do this together, and honestly, you've blown it up even beyond my expectation. Really, dealing with this issue of distraction, especially when it comes to bringing out products, writing a book, or any other form of art that
Yeah.
a person is trying to create. And it's so interesting that you are talking about time here now, as in about starting immediately, starting now.
Yeah.
Ada was talking about when she was a teenager, talking about writing a book, and somebody was saying, "You write a book." What would you say really to um, anyone out there where about this fact where you say you want to write a book? First of all, there's the issue of nobody knows me. Why should I write a book now? And you kind of mentioned it where, okay, you feel like you want to have a large name first before you write a
Mm-hmm.
book. And there's also this other thing of where people do not feel you have enough experience to write a book yet, that you are
Yeah.
not that knowledgeable, you are not that deep, and then you not
Yeah.
even get across some people that will even tell you things like, as your book should be about, should be juicy because of the depth of experiences you've had. Oh, you traveled maybe to 10 countries, you met this variety of people, you did so and so things. I remember I was talking with a lady and she was like, she's not going to read any book that doesn't talk about you went to these interesting places, you did these very fun and interesting things whereby you had a one night stand here, you did this, you did that, you did this, that. That's what really makes a book. That's what really makes you an author. From what would you really say to something like that?
Yes, that's what really makes you an author too. Well, you see, you're not sent to write to everybody.
Absolutely.
So you need to understand that before you start writing. If it comes to book, not everybody will read you, right?
Wow.
And you actually don't send to everybody. Your message is usually not for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there are cases where, yeah, it is for everybody, but the point is really, even if it's for everybody, like I write on leadership. What I write for leadership for young people, trust me, they need to have that book in National Assembly. They don't have enough sense. They need that kind of book there, but I'm really not sent to them. They can
Wow.
go ahead and read it. Good for them. They will learn. But I'm more interested in in the young people coming up. I'm writing for them,
Yeah.
right? So you need to know your audience. So not everybody will appreciate your work. That's one. You need to
Yeah.
know that. And then secondly, like I said, everybody, I always say this humorously, that everybody came down from heaven with a PhD in something. You just don't have the certificate.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
That's what I said. That's what I mentioned. I said every human being was made on purpose. The fact that God created you on purpose, He gave you why would somebody just open his mouth and sing and it sounds so nice without learning to sing? Why somebody has to spend 5 years in the school learning to sing? Why would somebody just pick a musical instrument and is able to play it without being taught? Why are some people so, look, we are all blessed with so many things. So if that person, if they told you that if you're driving by the roadside and you get stranded, your car gets bad, and then they say there's a young man there that he's not trained, but if you see there's a mechanical thing he can fix, won't you allow him fix it when you're stranded? And he'll fix it and then you drive off. But he didn't learn it from anywhere. So are you going to refuse his help because he was not trained? So my point is, you have something to offer. They believe it or not, you have. It's left to you it's up to you rather to make them believe what you have to say, one way or the other. Now, you said something in the small piece you wrote in Attah. I think that was Brendan. What's his name now? He said, yeah, okay, the quote you put up there when you put up this post, where he said, some people say, oh, the world is not giving them what they want. And his response was like, the world probably doesn't know what you want. That's why they're not giving you. So if the world if they know what you want, they'll give you. But many of us are going about expecting the world to give us what they want. The world doesn't even know what you want. You haven't even told us what you want. So you have a book to write. You have something to say. Say it. Do all you can to say it. If you begin to say it, it will make sense, right? From, like I said, from when I told people that I wanted to write, a lot of people felt like it's a joke, right? But I remember after it got to a point when I was preparing for the book launch, and some of the people who were laughing, by the time they saw the venue, they saw the invitation cards, they're like, he's not playing, It looks like he's actually serious, and there's actually a real book, right? They came on board as well.
Yeah.
So my point is, they still came on board. Some of them even said, I'd like to support what you're doing with this and with that. But initially, they were laughing. So my point is, it's left to you to go on. Don't stop. You have what it takes. You need to believe in yourself extra. You came with it. It's not your fault that you feel, what even made you think about writing in the first place? Because you feel you have something to write, and you need to believe that. I believe that, right? I believe you. I believe whatever you believe. I believe whatever you believe. That's the truth. Whatever you believe, if I meet you, I'll believe it.
Absolutely.
Because you believe it. So that's weighty. So I believe you. But if you don't believe you, how will I believe you?
Wow. If you don't believe you, how will I believe you? Very true.
Exactly. So when you believe you, I'll believe you. So you just need to believe in yourself. But then again, stay around people who believe what you believe, who will encourage you, who will help you grow, right? And then you find out that once you do that, you're making a lot of progress, right? And then you begin to believe more in yourself. Yeah, I won't tell you, like, it feels like that a lot. So if I'm to tell you as a hack, just know it, you're going to be discouraged like forever many times. After I read my first book, I thought for a while, I was like, is that all? Like, literally, is that all? So you've written the book, it's not really selling, people are not really buying at that point, nobody's, and to think that the response to that was to write another book was insane.
Wow.
Do you understand?
I get you.
So the response to that was to write another book. The moment I wrote another one, the first one came in more demand.
I get you.
You understand now? So
because now people are assessing that this guy knows what he's doing. He's not here joking. He's not here as a fluke. He actually. I get you.
And then while they're done, before they finish digesting the second book, you bring out the third one, right? And it keeps going like that. And at that point, you realize, you begin to see that, those that you're sent to actually begin to come around. And they begin to find what you have useful. And you begin to make gradual progress. Like I said, it's not a sprint.
Absolutely.
It's not a sprint. And everything I'm saying, I didn't know it from the start as well.
Yes.
So I was learning along the way as well. Now I can say some of them, but along the way I didn't know all of this, but I can tell you now. So it's not a sprint. So you keep going. Those moments where you feel discouraged and all, and but you keep trying. But as long as you believe that's what you've got to do, just go ahead and keep doing it. So just know that there's space for you, and you're not sent to everybody. So when you find those people that don't respect what you have, just cut them off. Move on to people who do.
Yeah.
right? And you feel better, you make more progress. Yeah.
Well, Joe, this is making a whole lot of sense. I tell you, sorry, my trying to adjust my stand here, and what you said is really true. I've been doing a lot of research myself, and I've heard so many authors say the same thing, that the best way to get your first book to sell is to actually release a second book,
Yeah.
and after that one to release another one. I was reading Semi Pressfield recently, and
Yeah.
after he finished writing his very first novel, because he was always somebody that was dealing with distractions. He would always start, not finish, or something, or was always happening, but eventually he was able to put himself together, finish that very first one, based on even many of the principles that you have shared here. And he said he went to his mentor who had been guiding him in the process and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm done with the book and everything. Here is it." And the guy
Yeah.
just stood and looked at it and said, "Well done. Start the second one." And
Another
it was
one.
like, and it was like,
Yeah.
"What? So you mean that's it?" As what you said,
Hmm.
it's really so on point, makes so much sense. It's just really about we keeping on. That
Yeah.
particular quote by Bernard Bouchard, what the foundation, the build up to that quote that he was saying is, we shouldn't expect the world to know what we're about just by giving little hints of ourselves here and there,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we expect. And for me, that has also been my experience, where you think, because you wrote this very beautiful thing, and you
Hmm.
put it up on Instagram, you put it on Facebook, or you put it on your
Yeah.
WhatsApp status, that the
Yeah.
whole world will just rally around and understand what you are about, and just say, "Hey,
Yeah.
look, we want to help you achieve your dream." But you're
Yeah.
like, you just get those crickets, and like, can't anybody really see how powerful this thing is that I have written? Can't they see how very inspirational and all
Hmm.
all the powerful words you want to think about? But
Yeah.
it's, you really just get to understand that it's about putting in
Hmm.
that work. You are going to have to keep doing it over and over and over
Over.
again. The beautiful way he
Yeah.
put it is that don't expect to give little hints of excellence here and there, and then the whole world
There.
is just going to gather around and support you.
Yes.
That excellence,
Hmm.
that work, that thing that you are putting out there, you have to consistently put it out over and over
Sure.
and over again. It's so interesting how you understand it, but you are going to have to do it several times for other people to
Yeah.
really understand it, and to be
True.
really able to support you, to come along
Hmm.
with you on your journey. Honestly, this is so powerful. And I can see a lot of people really resonated with what you said. Official, Dark, Attah, they all resonate with what you said. Honestly, that's so
Hmm.
powerful. Now, Attah is asking a question. She says, "How can I plan my time when I have a goal to write a book? I want to be able to write a book in a week." I know Attah joined us a little bit late, but maybe you can just help her break it down a little bit, just based on, I think, the things that you had said earlier. She specifically, okay, she is saying that her goal is to write a book in a week.
Okay, that's awesome. I never tell anybody anything is impossible, but that sounds tough though. But if you're going to write a book in a week, you definitely will be ready much earlier than a week, right? So you have to get your thought right, get everything right. But basically, you need a plan, and you're going to be working mostly throughout, except it's a very small book, because you need a lot of time to write, rethink what you're writing, and all that. But normally, when I'm writing a book, I have a plan. I have a plan. I have a time frame. I have a time frame for. I draw a spreadsheet. I put time for chapter one. I put a timeline for it. I put
Yeah,
chapter two. I put a timeline. Yeah, I put all that together. When I finish, I put time for proofreading. I
yeah,
put time for getting other people to read and return to me. I put time for everything.
yeah,
So in a week, so I normally do that. And usually I spread it over a period. All right. And
yeah,
then I must say that because I'm always writing. I really don't know what book I'm writing next, but I have a couple of them of thoughts in mind that I've worked hard on.
Yeah.
for about a year now, right? But I don't know what book I'm writing next. So I don't know how it works for you, but writing a book, but the basic thing is have a plan. Draw a plan, spread it out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever you do, since it's in a week, you must be able to start to finish Monday to Friday, put it on a plan and make sure it's smart enough that you can achieve it in a week. But if you draw the plan, you don't achieve in a week, extend it, adjust the plan, let it enter 2 weeks. If it doesn't adjust it until the book is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think another thing too Ada can probably do is to also probably send you a DM, so
Sure.
she could also get the sample of the spreadsheet and everything from you, so that it can
Okay,
also
cool.
be,
The
yeah,
guide, yeah.
very, very practical for her. So I hope that helps, Ada.
Can I,
Uh,
yeah, I hope so too.
Definitely. So awesome. Now that she's talking about writing a book in a week, it also brings to mind how, because I know you do so many other things apart from writing, and that's one thing so many other people face, the fact that they hold down a full-time job.
Yeah,
They there really is so many other external demands. They wish, okay, I could just shut down everything, go to this
yeah,
island, and just
yeah.
be able to write and everything. What advice? Because I know
Mm,
that's your own reality. You have so much
yeah.
right now. You even have another meeting after we're done with this and all that. What maybe frame of mind should somebody who holds a full-time job have towards their writing, and they really have this book they want to get out?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to them?
Keyword is sacrifice. How bad do you want it?
Hmm.
Right? It's sacrifice. And how bad do you want it? So you have to sacrifice. You have to know when is your best time. When is your best time to work? Right?
Yeah.
When is your best time to think? Right? When you factor
Yeah.
that in, if your work takes that time because you have to go to work, then you have to look for your second best time,
Absolutely.
right? And
Yeah.
factor it into your plan. You have to make a commitment. Try as best as you can to make a daily commitment to working on that project. I've
Hmm.
done that severally. And then prepare your mind. Most times you prepare your mind, like take advantage of public holidays. You can't easily catch me on public holidays anywhere else apart from working on something I'm trying to achieve,
Yeah.
right? Personally, because I know that's a free day. So take advantage of public holidays. Put it within your routine. If you're somebody that cannot work every day for a short period, maybe your Saturdays, but you must have a plan. Otherwise, you realize that a month's gone, 2 months gone, 3 months gone, you haven't done a thing. So have a plan, a weekly plan, a daily plan, something that is consistent with how you work. Factor it into your work, factor it into your job, factor it into everything you do,
Yeah.
right? So for instance, where I stay, I have to deal with traffic coming to work, right? So I work best in the morning. So I like to leave home very early. And when I leave
Okay.
home, I can still get up to a couple of I can get up to an hour in the morning before work starts,
Before work starts,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Before work starts, I can still get it. And that morning is some of my best times to work. So within probably between 7 to 8, I have 7 to 8 to myself. I leave earlier so I can get to
Yeah.
work very early and there's nobody in the
Really.
office, there's nothing. You so I have
Hmm.
time, I can just take advantage of that, work from 7 to 8. That's creating time for yourself. But you can as well say, okay, I'm going to work by 8 o'clock, get to work by 8 o'clock. If morning
Hmm.
works for you, that's an option. So you have
Option.
to make a sacrifice. You have to calculate and then take advantage of public holidays, right? If you know the environment does not allow you, find somewhere you go to on those public holidays. Saturdays, you can't give up all your Saturdays. Sundays, you can't allow your Saturdays to be Sundays, Saturday and Sunday be used up when you know you mandatorily have to be work Mondays to Friday, be at work Monday to Friday. So Saturdays and Sunday, guard them jealously. You may have to sacrifice some weddings. You might have to, yeah, you have to make some sacrifices if you really want it to work, right?
Hmm.
It's sacrifice really, because you're not going to have that time. The
Ab-
best time to plant a tree, they say, is 100 years ago, but the next best time is now. So you
No,
just start
absolutely.
now. You have no time. Go ahead, just do it now. right? Create that time, squeeze it in, yeah, and reduce other things. You can't create time for something without reduce. So many times, that's why I say sacrifice. There are things you may have to give up. Like I
Give up.
said, miss some ceremonies, give up some things because you have something to finish. Because the way writing goes can be funny. You can actually spend the whole day working on an idea, on a thought that you're trying to put into what you're doing. And then by the time you're done doing everything, you come back and read the whole thing. It's like, whoa, this is some beautiful nonsense. And it's actually beautiful nonsense. You just did not achieve what you thought you were going to achieve, right? Just
Yeah.
nothing. And you spend the whole day doing it. But the beauty of that is because you have done that, the next time you sit down to write, so it may look like that day was wasted, but that was actually a seed, right? That day was actually a seed that the next time you sit down to write, your head will be oozing out with lots of brilliant ideas and you get better. But so that's how writing is. So imagine if you don't even have the time to write beautiful nonsense. When are you going to get the time to write something beautiful?
That
So
makes
it's
sense.
a circle, like, yeah. So you must create the time. It's not kind of almost non-negotiable.
Thank you so much, bro. This has been very, very helpful, very, very insightful. Can't thank you enough, honestly. And I'm sure
My pleasure.
everyone that has joined this evening has definitely found this very insightful. Everyone that will definitely be watching the replay also has found this very, very insightful. Just want to say thank you so much. I know
My
that
pleasure.
your meeting is coming up soon, but we will still have to bring you again to take
No
us
problem.
deeper into this stuff. Ada
No
really
problem.
appreciates all the insights you've shared. She says, "Nice, thank you so much." Just want to
Okay.
say to everyone that is on here live with us, if you found this really really helpful, there's a group that we have. Even my friend and my brother Joe, he's also part of that group. It's called Get Your Energy Back. It's actually on Facebook. It's a group on Facebook. Get Your Energy Back group. If you found this really really helpful, you one thing that you can do is to join us on that group. Join my brother and I on that group, and it's
Good.
just yeah, it's a group of professionals where we're sharing insights, sharing everything that we need to take our performance to a whole new level. Because many of this stuff, you can't just get them in an hour, you can't just get them even in one day. It's just like Joe said, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you have to keep hitting it over and over and over again. So why not just join us on that group? Is Get Your Energy Back group on Facebook. Join us there, and one thing that I can assure you is that we'll keep growing together, keep adding value to ourselves, and the whole idea is for us to collaborate on this journey of high performance together. So that's what I say. Thank you so much,
Thank you too
everyone.
for having me.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's it there. That's my wife just puts it up there. Get your energy back. So please join us there. Joe has to run for his meeting. I just want to wish each and every one of you a very, very great week, a beautiful week ahead. Joe, any last words for the people, for everyone here?
Man, it's just the same thing we'll be saying, man. Enjoy your week. Do the things you know you should do. Help yourself. You'll be fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
see you again very, very soon. Do enjoy your week. Have a great time. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you so much, bro.
Okay.
My wife is saying a
My
big
pleasure.
thank you to you here for everything you this time. Thank you so much, bro. You're
All right.
awesome. Enjoy the
Okay.
rest of your evening. See you later.
You too. All right.
Bye.
Bye.